day. The Nasdaq lower by 13. The economy adding 215,000 jobs in July, a little bit less than expected, but still a very strong number. The nation's jobless rate holding steady at a 7-year low of 5.3%, and hourly wages even increased a little bit, up 0.2%. Oil closing below $44 a barrel. That's a 5-month low, as the number of rigs drilling for oil and natural gas in the U.S. rose for the third week straight. And starting on Monday, PepsiCo is taking the aspartame out of Diet Pepsi, replacing it with 2 other artificial sweeteners. That's on consumer worries about aspartame's health effects. Tom Busby, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Call 877-319-6988. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Call 877-319-6988. Programming starting as little as $29.99, plus access to thousands of movies and TV shows. Stream to your TV, smartphone, or tablet. Call 877-319-6988. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get Dish today.
And good afternoon. Happy Friday, 2:02. I'm Di Rice, checking out your weather conditions for the weekend. It's going to be partly, they're saying partly cloudy, chance of showers ending tonight. This is brand new information. Mostly sunny. What are we doing? No, mostly sunny through the weekend. Scratch the showers. That was for yesterday. All right, highs near 93. Right now we're at 88 degrees here in San Bernardino. Overnight lows into the mid-60s once again. Lots of traffic out there. Slow stuff going on the 91 as usual, eastbound between Green River and Highway 71. Also through Corona on the 15 northbound, it's a bit slow between Temescal Canyon Road and Weirwick Road. And there is a disabled vehicle on the 15 northbound right there at Magnolia. So expect a delay of about 13 minutes. And then through Fontana, stop and go on that 15 freeway northbound between Sierra Avenue and Glen Helen Parkway. And then it's going to get busy up to the 138 going through the pass to the 395. So keep that in mind. Moreno Valley, stop and go on that 215 northbound between Alessandro and Eastridge Avenue. And that is it for weather and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind. Kcaa with the Poorman Show next.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com. Wondering what to do on your Friday drive home? Well, the bar's open and it's happy hour. Join us right here on KCAA 1050 AM on Friday at 3 for Trevor's Happy Hour with Lyle Fenimore. The gang's all going to be there, so dial it in. KCAA 1050 AM Fridays at 3 p.m. right after the Poorman for Trevor's Happy Hour with Lyle Fenimore.
Pour me a tall one.
Brought to you by BuySellMakeOffer.com.
America's pop culture entertainment show is here each week on KCAA. Hi, this is Douglas Viviani together with
David Cohen.
Join us each Saturday at 2 for Everything Old is New Again, where we take a nostalgic look at the future.
We're making listening to the radio fun again. Each week, we revisit the entertainment and pop culture of yesterday and juxtapose it to today.
Just picture two guys sitting at a bar arguing over which is the best Disney princess, or what's the best TV sitcom of all time?
Or even, is The Walking Dead better than The Night of the Living Dead? Is baseball still America's pastime? Is competitive eating a sport? The topics are endless fun and include TV, movies, music, and much more.
But be forewarned, we're going to start the arguments you're going to love to have.
Everything Old is New Again, Saturday at 2, right here on CNBC KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives. KCAA Radio wants you to take extra precautions if you work in the sun or in any hot environment this summer, especially if you're a senior citizen and if you take certain medications. Be aware that antidepressants and antihistamines act on an area of the brain that controls the skin's ability to produce sweat. Sweating is the body's natural cooling system, so if you can't sweat, you risk getting overheated. Also, beta blockers reduce the ability of the heart and lungs to adapt to stress, including the stress associated with working in a hot environment. Therefore, beta blockers can, under certain conditions, contribute to the likelihood of a heat stroke and other heat-related illnesses. Did you know that amphetamines can raise body temperature? Did you know that diuretics encourage fluid loss, which can quickly lead to dehydration in hot weather? Did you know that sedatives can reduce a person's awareness of physical discomfort, which means symptoms of heat stress could be ignored? Did you know that decongestants can decrease blood flow to the skin, which impacts the blood's ability to cool down? Well, if you didn't know it before this announcement, you certainly know it now. So take this message seriously. Take care of yourself when you're working in the heat. Stay hydrated, work slower, and take breaks to cool down. This message is from KCAA. KCAA proudly presents The Poorman Show.
On the line right now, three of the guys, Billy Bob Thornton, who I've known since the late 80s, and I even know some deep, dark secrets about him. Right, Billy Bob?
Yes, you do, sir.
It's time for
Radio Hidden Back.
I am very happy to welcome into the studio the Cottonmouth King. Okay, oh, we got somebody else. Hold on here. Let's get somebody else on here. Hello?
I think you need to get a little angry or frustrated like you did before. You don't have to do the dead air stick, but maybe come up with something different.
You know, I've thought about it, and I think you might be single, and I was thinking you and I would probably get along pretty well if we dated, so I wouldn't mind asking.
I live in New York.
So do I. I live in New York and in L.A.
Oh, do you? Well, aren't you clever?
He started moaning. I'm like,
and
ew,
what was he? And he was this
gross.
is as he massaged your feet.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, that's so gross. I'm like, sorry, I can't do this.
Have you always been into guns?
Yeah, but I've been from California, so it's kind of stifled. You know, you can't own anything cool there, and you know the laws are pretty strict, and you can't really shoot them anywhere.
I'm telling you right now what's going to happen.
You really never know what's gonna happen. Here's the Poorman.
And I never know what's going to happen. Even if I prepare as much as possible for the show, you just don't know. You don't know when you're going to implode. You don't know if it's going to be your last day on the air. You don't know if you're going to say something that's going to get you fired. That's exactly what radio is, because it's live and direct. And at this moment from Huntington Beach, California, we take you Surf City, USA. That's what they call it. And the man, the myth, the legend, the only guy still doing a surf report in Southern California, Huntington Henry.
With Huntington Henry.
Thanks, Batman. Matthews and Poorman there. You're looking good in Soho today with your orange hat, buddy. We have mostly sunny this afternoon at the beaches. Los Angeles County, the weather's a little nicer up there.
Henry.
Yes, buddy.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Do you know what my orange hat says?
No, I don't. Tell me.
I love surfing.
Cool.
It's from the surf camp. It's from the surf camp.
Blue one. That was a nice hat. That wave pools one.
Yeah. The one I'm wearing now is from the surf camp in Newport, right where I used to live. They actually have a surf camp. The guy's called Frog. You probably know him.
Yes, and you're looking like one of those surfing priority buoys in that orange hat there, poor man.
Yeah, I get your drift. Go for it, dude.
Okay, well, the weather at the beaches, North LA County, Los Angeles County, sunny most of the day, so it's pretty good up that way, a little bit onshore flow. North Orange County, we have this thing called a Catalina eddy where the low clouds kind of form up. So we have right now late afternoon, hazy sun in Huntington Beach. South Orange County into San Diego looking pretty good there, sunny. Air temperatures mid-70s, upper 70s where the sun's out. Our sunset tonight, 7:46 p.m. Sunrise, 6:08 a.m. Morning overcast again, light onshore wind early, peaking out southwest onshore in the afternoon, 12 miles per hour. Morning low air temperatures in the upper 60s. A little less cloud cover for tomorrow, Saturday at the beaches, and even better weather expected, upper 70s on Sunday. The surf, a south swell, and we have a slight high tide push coming in. So the waves actually, even though it's a little choppy, they've gotten a little better in most areas. Ventura County line, 2 to occasional 4 feet. Zuma 2 to 3. Malibu 1 to 3. Topanga 1 to 2. It's sunny up that way, mid to upper 60s in the water. The high tide is at 4:21 p.m. at 5.4. Venice 2 to 3, and South Bay 1 to 2. Low 70s in the water in the South Bay area. Huntington Beach, late afternoon clearing here, hazy sun 2 to 4. Newport, 56th Street just picked up a little bit, 3 to 5, and looking pretty fair there, although bumpy. Salt Creek 2 to 4, occasional 5. Trestles 3 to 5, Oceanside 2 to 4. The surf forecast is slight increase this afternoon, dropping a little bit tonight, but then another push for tomorrow afternoon, Saturday, and then it's hard to tell you the surf expected to drop off through Sunday and Monday. Visit my YouTube channel, Henry Surf Showcase. I have the U.S. Open complete men's final heat. So if you missed the biggest contest of the year, you can just check it out on my YouTube channel, Henry Surf Showcase. It's a full 40-minute heat. I have zoomed up replays and everything for you, so just kick back on your couch and watch it. Back to you, Poorman, in the Soho, New York studio.
Still have the Soho, New York studio. Thank you, Huntington Henry. Henry's Surf Showcase. Everybody check it out. And he needs subscribers on YouTube, all right? Do me a favor. Doesn't cost you anything. Go onto YouTube. Look, even the people on the blogs, if you all subscribe, you'll totally stoke up Huntington Henry. So just go to Henry's Surf Showcase, subscribe, and take a look at a few of his vids, and that'll be fantastic. All right, so I want to welcome everybody to the show. Yesterday, I started the program sort of on a serious note, and a lot of times I wonder, should you do a serious show? Should you do a funny show? Should you do a light one? Just my experiences in doing a talk show for not that long, it almost seems like people will respond better or listen more if there's some sort of train wreck going on. Like if I have a meltdown, that's usually when everybody hears it. Or if I am in a controversy with somebody and burn them, you won't hear from anybody. But then once something really goes wrong, or you say you want to quit doing radio like I've done so many times, then that's when everybody hears. You just do a fun show. Like today I'm in a good mood, so I'm just thinking nobody is going to give a rat's behind about whatever I say. But in bringing up the fact that yesterday was serious, we talked about a good friend of mine who does a radio show, and I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to embarrass him, but he has been dealing with alcoholism. He is the worst alcoholic I have ever seen. Every single day, all day, pretty much, the guy is drinking. He's now 50. He's been an alcoholic since he was 15 years old. So I didn't mean to get right back into it today, but we have a call on the line who wants to discuss alcoholism. So I'm going to deviate from talking about the Republican convention, not the Republican convention, but the Republican debate that kicked Jon Stewart's butt to talk about alcoholism with Jack. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Poorman? A longtime fan here.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you know, you called right at the beginning of the show, so
yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, listen, yesterday I caught a little bit about your friend and his alcoholism issue. Did you ever consider calling Dr. Drew for some advice?
Oh, you know how to hit me hard, don't you? Are you still there? Give the guy the bomb anyway. Bomb that boy. Even though he didn't have the guts to stay on the line. All right. This is for you, right up your like that one was just going to derail me entirely for the program. For those of you who don't know my history, just Google Poorman and Dr. Drew and Loveline, and you can read about it. Because I've dealt with it for so long now. Honestly, I think I'm getting over it, except on the days that I'm overly tired. Like yesterday, I got in a really bad mood because I drank a actual shot of Scotch whiskey because we had this guy Steve Jessup on. This guy, all right, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but he's got a blog or a podcast that he's doing actually every Friday at 4:20. It's called Weed, Women, and Booze or something like that. He has 700,000 likes. So he said he was smoking a J, and Matt Dillon, a buddy of mine who stays here sometimes, he had left a bottle of Johnny Walker Green Label, and it has sat here for 2 or 3 months because I don't drink Scotch whiskey. And I thought, okay, I'll take a shot. So I take a shot, and I get into a huge fight after the show with a guy who does my YouTube channel, Adventures with Poorman, because this guy has 700,000 likes, and Adventures with Poorman has 200 views, a little more than 200 views. And even though it only has 200 views, I get in a big controversy with the promoter of the event, which we have one video on there. It just started. I get in a big controversy, burn about 8 bridges, and it has 200 views. Whereas the guy who's smoking weed, completely ripped out of his mind, he's got 700,000 likes. So I'm just trying to think, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? And anyway, I shouldn't drink at all because I hardly ever drink. But when I do, like that one shot got me so wasted. So we had a big fight. I was so angry. I was saying, I'm just a loser. I'm burnout. You know, I have 200 views. I plug Adventures with Poorman on the radio, and 200 people watch this video. And this dude from Louisiana who builds stools with seats that look like beer caps. I mean, it's funny. I mean, the guy's funny. He gets on there and everybody's going, God, that guy's funny. And I'm thinking, yeah, I guess I'm not funny. So maybe I need to get wasted. There was a morning DJ in Australia that I used to work with named Doug Mulray. You can Google him also. He was a #1 DJ in Sydney. This was years ago. This guy would go into the studio and do the morning show. Now, he had a 25 share. So of all the radio stations in Sydney, Australia, 1 out of every 4 people would be listening to Doug Mulray in the morning out of all the radios. Imagine that in a big city like New York or LA. 1 out of 4, it's unheard of. It was insane. He had a 25 share. The guy was so popular that he would be hired to do a 1-hour gig, and they would offer him $10,000 cash, and the idiot would turn it down. I mean, I shouldn't call him an idiot because he's just a great guy. But and then he came when I was doing the Loveline show. Of course, that was before Dr. Drew stole it, since you brought his name up. I brought him as a guest. Nobody knew him in America. He sits down and does one Loveline, and people are going, wow, that guy from Australia, he's so funny. Anyway, so Doug Mulray, just to give you an idea of how you should do a radio show, Jed the Fish is another guy I used to work with on K-Rock, and I think this is fairly well known. He was brilliant when he was high on the horse. When he was doing heroin, he was the best radio guy you ever heard. When he was straight, he couldn't do it. I heard W.C. Fields, when he was acting, he had to be just absolutely SH-face drunk, or he wasn't, and he'd be a brilliant actor. But Mulray would go in the morning at 7 a.m. every day. He'd smoke a ton of weed. There would be a big green cloud billowing out of the radio booth. He would be drinking. They'd be snorting blow. And this guy was getting a 25 share. And some days, I guess he would get so angry, he would just leave the studio and go home. And the station, because he was so popular, would just say, don't worry about it. Just keep doing the show. He'll be back tomorrow. But can you imagine turning down a 1-hour appearance and making $10,000? Look, if for me, for 10 grand, somebody could say, look, you're going to be rolling around in pig doo-doo, and then you have to eat it afterwards. I would be piling it on a plate and shoving it in my mouth. This guy was turning down 10 grand. They would also, they take him for a 1-hour appearance for 10,000, give him a 5-star hotel room and a limo, and he would turn down the gigs. Incredible. So I wanted to talk about the Republican debate, because the Republican debate did something that kind of, I think, intensified or solidified what I feel about Jon Stewart. And I will discuss that when we come back. But before we go to break, let me just say this. The Republican debate got, with Donald Trump and everybody else, 24 million viewers on cable. And then Jon Stewart, who had his final night on television, the final Daily Show after 16 years and several thousand shows, he had 3.5 million. That was the second most he's ever had. The highest he ever had was with Barack Obama, and that was 3.57 million people. So the Republican debate got 8 times as many people as Jon Stewart's final night. They were both on cable. The debate was on Fox News Channel. The Stewart show was on Comedy Central. I have never felt Jon Stewart was very good. And it really comes down to this, is if you are the darling of a guy who is the head of a media company, and for whatever reason, people that are in the business loved Jon Stewart. They just thought he was so clever and so creative, but his ratings were terrible. It's like Howard Stern. Howard Stern, I've been fired from so many radio stations, but I never had a Mel Karmazin, who was Howard Stern's boss, who used to be the head of CBS. And Mel had Howard's back. When Howard would be just burning people right and left, Mel Karmazin, who ascended to huge, by the way, he fired me because we were in the same company at one time. And I was no worse than Howard. I got suspended one time for coming up. I had a clothing company called Poorman. I had, one of my shirts was a 700-pound woman's flabby butt, and it said Howard Stern underneath. Like they thought that was insulting to the guy who insults everybody. So I got suspended for a week for that. But it just goes to show, if you have somebody powerful and you're in the media, you can have a long career. That's the key to it, not ratings. Anyway, we'll be back. I'm going to talk more about that debate. I saw it, I watched it, I liked it. And then we're going to talk about some other crazy stuff. I'm going to talk about some rappers. We got Peter Dills coming up later on in the show. Peter Dills, the #1 restaurant critic in the United States. Not just Southern California, not just regionally, but in the United States. So stay tuned.
If you'd like to talk to the poor man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the Poor Man coming up.
Hi, you guys. Poor Man here. You know how much I love to party, get drunk, make a fool out of myself, but all in all, have a good time with my friends. For that reason, I'm throwing my own party. Join me Friday night, August 28th at Scotia Monahan's in Costa Mesa for the biggest end-of-summer beach party in Orange County. No dress code for this event, obviously. There will be big-time live bands performing. I'll announce those soon. Drink specials, and yes, the unlimited free Scotia Monahan's signature garlic cheese bread. So spread the word, tell your friends, and make your plans now to be there at Scotia Monahan's, Newport Boulevard and 20th Street in Costa Mesa for the biggest end-of-summer beach party, Friday night, August 28th, hosted by me, the Poor Man. Go to ScotiaMonahans.com for more information, and stay tuned for what's going to happen that night. It's going to be unbelievable.
It's all a part of the Poor Man World Tour, so be there at Scotia Monahan's Friday night, August 28th.
Hey everybody, it's Peter Dills with 2 picks of wines that once you try them, you'll agree with me that wines from Tom Gore and Wild Horse offer some of the best values of any wines today that you'll find at your local supermarket. If you like Pinot Noir, I love the Wild Horse. Cabernet and Chardonnay is your thing? Tom Gore, the farmer's wine, is the way to go. Pick up a bottle of Tom Gore or Wild Horse at your local supermarket today.
Have a question or a comment? Then you can send a tweet to the Poor Man via Twitter. @PoorMan1 is his Twitter account. That's @PoorMan, the number 1. So send your tweets or follow the Poor Man @PoorMan, the number 1 on Twitter.
We are back, folks. So I'm just reading some, I don't get many tweets. Actually, people call my cell phone. Now that I got my cell phone back, it seems like that works better. Just go ahead and text me if you'd like, 949-870-6155. It's my personal cell phone. It's all right. It was lost in a cab for 12 days until 3 days ago. The other day, you heard the cab driver who returned it, the Sherpa from Nepal, Pasan. So go ahead and you can text me. But I got a text. We were talking earlier about popularity of entertainment people, and I was saying on yesterday's show, I had a guy named Steve Jessup, and you can go and he's on Facebook, and I forget the name of his website, but his whole show is about wine, weed, and whiskey, I think is what it's called. And he has 700,000 likes on Facebook, which is just insane. The guy didn't even plug my show. He came on here yesterday, phoned in, didn't give me a plug at all. All he does is sell merch on that site, and he does a live show every Friday at 4:20, get it? Eastern time. So I got a text just now that said that dude is buying most of his ghost followers, and they aren't legitimate. You're not going to buy 700,000 followers on Facebook unless you have a lot of money. But I think there's something that guy's doing that's right. I mean, everybody thought he was funny, but he's obviously selfish. I mean, the guy came on my show. Hey, Poor Man, I'm smoking half a J right now. So I'm globbing off your show. And of course, I'm not going to mention you at all on mine because I'm a selfish son of a bitch. That's right. I just smoke my weed, drink my whiskey, screw my wife, and I'm not going to pump your show in the least, Poor Man. And I got 700,000 likes, and you got like 5. Ha, ha, ha. So that happened. And then the other thing that's amazing is Jon Stewart just had his last show on Comedy Central, The Daily Show. His ratings have always sucked. They've sucked on there. I have never watched a complete Daily Show, ever. I have no interest. I don't think Jon Stewart's funny. And the ratings prove it. He's hardly ever has more than 1 million people watching The Daily Show when he's on, and yet everybody's saying, oh, he's brilliant. He's a comedy guy talking about news. He's creating trends. He's not creating anything. He's got a boss who, for whatever reason, despite his low ratings, thought he was funny and interesting. His ratings were terrible. Even putting Stephen Colbert, we're going to have him take over for Letterman. Newsflash, not much better than Jon Stewart. To me, Colbert reminds me of Rand Paul in the debate last night, which, by the way, did anybody see the debate? That Rand Paul and Chris Christie got into it, and Rand Paul got into it with Trump also. And his voice is like this: I think if the terrorists are going to do anything at all, that we need to be prepared for them. And Christie, who's a big New York governor, looks like he could kick his butt, goes, you know what? Anyway, they got into a debate, and then he got into it with Trump, and Trump. What's interesting about it, he just speaks his mind, and he was like hammering the news people that were throwing the questions. It was Fox News Channel. They had Chris Wallace. They had this other guy. Oh gosh, what's his name? I see him on there all the time. And then they had the babe of all babes, the woman that I totally want to have be my girlfriend. That's Megyn Kelly. I know she probably wears a ton of makeup, but God, that babe is so hot. And I really have never seen her before, really. And everybody's saying she came off the best. So Trump was nailing her with questions, and then she asked, "Well, Mr. Trump, it seems like you're against women. You're trashing them. You're saying they're fat. They should get on their knees, something like that." And he goes, "Only Rosie O'Donnell." And then Rosie O'Donnell, I guess, tweeted back today. She goes, "Well, what am I going to tell my kids?" So he's just speaking his mind. But the one thing that stands out to me about Trump, and you guys can tell me whether you agree or disagree, or if you watch the debate. Okay, whether you want to watch a Republican primary or not, or you want to watch Stewart. Stewart had 3.5 million people, which is the second most ever. The Republican debate had 24 million, 8 times as much as Stewart's final show. So whether you like it or not, and a big audience of 25 to 54-year-olds. So it wasn't just like all blue hairs and, senior citizens. There were young people watching the debate. So the thing I thought was least impressive about Trump was when they asked him about how does he know that all the people coming in from Mexico, all the illegal immigration or legal immigration, he says they're all criminals. He couldn't answer that question. And that's what sort of stood out to me about Trump. And it just, what is this? Somebody is texting me. And bitter much. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You thought Trump was bitter? He did come off a little bit bitter, I think. Yeah, he did. I'm trying to think, but you know what? And he also said, which was kind of refreshing, that if he doesn't get elected or nominated as the Republican nominee, he's going to go on to a third party more than likely and run against the Republicans and Democrats and probably make the Republicans lose. So, but just the back and forth of everything, it was pretty entertaining. And Megyn Kelly was the big winner. This Fox babe, I'll tell you what, I haven't had sex in 12 years, and that's another story. It's been so long, I'm worried I can't perform. This is what's been going through my mind, because I had a chance a few days ago to hook up with some hot 29-year-old, and I think I'm worried about whether or not my Magic Johnson will rise to the occasion. Straight Outta Compton's coming up, is actually out now, the new movie based on the life of Eazy-E and the NWA and all that stuff. Maybe we'll get into that when we come back. So let's take a break right now. Thanks for joining me on the Poorman Show. If anybody has tips on how I know I can get it up when the time arises, because maybe tomorrow it will happen. But in case you're wondering, I still am able to pleasure myself. And I think of President Bush, #1, his wife Barbara's face, that does it every time.
If you'd like to talk to the Poor Man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the Poor Man coming up. Hey everybody, I'm Pat Matthews, Mr. Announcer here on the Poor Man Show, and I'd like to let you know about my services. If you're in the need for voice work, whether it be for commercials, narrations, or even having your personal or business voicemail professionally done, I'm the guy. I promise quick turnaround and great rates. Check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/PatMatthewsProductions, and that's Matthews with 2 T's, or email me at patmatthews@cox.net. I'd love to work with you. Thanks for your time, and you have a great day. Are you starting a business, incorporating, or forming an LLC? Do you have a business but need legal review of contracts or have other legal needs? If so, then please contact attorney Michael Brown. Michael has over 20 years' experience advising small and medium businesses to be successful and avoid costly litigation. Initial consultations are always free. Please contact us at 949-636-8128 or by visiting us at mwb-law.net. Have a question or a comment? Then you can send a tweet to the Poor Man via Twitter. @PoorMan1 is his Twitter account. That's @PoorMan, the number 1. So send your tweets or follow the Poor Man @PoorMan, the number 1 on Twitter.
And we are back with the Poor Man Show. Coming up in just a few minutes, Peter Dills. He's going to be giving away food. He always gives away food. He's now sponsoring my show with wine. Love Peter Dills. Also, I'm debating whether or not I want to put my friend on who's been drunk for 35 straight years. I don't want to do it this segment. It'll be next segment, if at all. We'll see. He's already in the studio. He's got smoke coming out of his ears. Actually, he's a really mellow dude, so he won't be. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just looking at my texts. You guys go ahead and text me. Forget tweeting me. My Twitter is @PoorMan1, but you can actually call my cell phone. You know, I don't care if I am broadcasting to 25 million people, I'll still give out my cell phone number. I really will. But here it is, 949-870-6155. That's the only phone I've got. Brett from Sacramento, are you going to talk about the artist chick you turned down? Let me tell you what happened. Okay, I mentioned in the last segment, not that anybody cares. I would like to talk about other people's sex lives, not just mine. But since I'm the only one on here, we'll deviate for a moment. I haven't had sex for 12 years. I came back to New York from California thinking I'd get evicted. And amazingly, I still haven't been evicted. And maybe I won't. This is what's going on behind the scenes. Like if you're watching this show on Ustream, you'll see there's no pictures on the wall. It looks like the place is completely deserted, but I haven't been sued yet. Or excuse me, I'm getting a call live. A lot of times people don't even know that I'm on the radio. Let's see who this is. I'll answer it live. Probably shouldn't do this, but hello? 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 This is the Poor Show. Since you called, say something. Okay, they're listening, but they don't want to speak. I'll tell you what. The next person who calls me on my cell phone, I will throw you on, no matter who it is. Don't text me, just call in on my cell phone. 949-870-6155. So, Brett, back to what happened. So I'm on the plane and sitting in first class as I go in. I was on Virgin Airlines. Is this just strikingly gorgeous artist. And she was... and she goes, Jim, which is my real name if you never knew that. Somebody call me, 949-870-6155. I'm going to finish this up. She goes, Jim, and I'm looking, and I'm going, wow, this girl's hot. And there was a guy sitting next to her, and there's only 8 seats in first class on Virgin Airlines. So anyway, she goes, it's me, Angela. And I go, whoa. And she's now a brunette. She was a blonde before, but she looked just great. Same guy is calling back, but is he going to talk this time? All right, you're on again. Are you going to say anything?
Yeah, Zombie Wolf. I dialed you by accident last time. I was meant to text you. I'm very sorry.
Zombie Wolf. Well, listen, I said I put somebody on the air. Do you want me to finish up my story of being a loser and not getting laid? Or do you want to talk, or we'll talk about anything you want, since you're the one person that's called my cell phone. Anything you want.
Well, I watched the debate, debate yesterday, and it was really fun.
Yeah, it was
enjoyable TV.
It was the best debate I've ever watched, because there were 10 guys and they were going at each other. There was a lot of comedy in it.
Yep. And it was intelligent, rather than watching a couple buffoons, watching bachelor parties and stuff like that. And I remember Jon Stewart, by the way. I don't never really tell you it's funny. I remember him from the Odd Channel a long, long time ago. And never really found him.
What was the funny. To you? What was the highlight of the Republican debate? What was the thing you remember the most?
When Trump said, you know what? I run things. I'm not to be everybody's friend. I make things happen.
Yeah, when he was talking about making the economy, go from a deficit to a surplus, right?
Yeah, they try to get him with the bankruptcy. He goes, no, I just use the laws of the land in my favor. I think that's that's business, and that's being a good good trader.
And Zombie, back to Jon Stewart, who got his ass kicked by the Republican primary. Same night they were both on. He had 3 million his last night on the air, and it was the second most people he's ever had, 3.5 million. The only time he got more was when he had Barack Obama on, the president of the United States. And yet everybody thinks it's just so cool to be on a show that nobody watched. And then, huh?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was going to say that the Republican primary, I said it earlier, had 24, the Republican debate had 24 million. 3 million to 24 million, and that was the first debate of many. And so that, but back to Stewart, it's amazing in any job, if you don't think having connections or having somebody like you is the most important thing, then you need to get your head examined. If somebody likes you, you can be horrible at your job and you can keep it and you can get paid a lot of money. In my own case, I was number one on the radio in Los Angeles and got myself fired because they just didn't like my style. And it's that's the truth about the workplace. I guess you have to have your own business and hope it works for you. All right, I got to take a break. Zombie Wolf, I'm glad one person called me today on my cell phone, and that would be you.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had a prize for you, but you'll have to tune in for Peter Dills coming up. And next up, I am going to put the guy who's been drunk almost every day since he was 15 years old on the air. So stay with us.
If you'd like to talk to the poor man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the Poor Man coming up.
Hey everybody, it's Peter Dills with 2 picks of wines that once you try them, you'll agree with me that wines from Tom Gore and Wild Horse offer some of the best values of any wines today that you'll find at your local supermarket. If you like Pinot Noir, I love the Wild Horse. Cabernet and Chardonnay is your thing? Tom Gore, the farmer's wine, is the way to go. Pick up a bottle of Tom Gore or Wild Horse at your local supermarket today.
Hey everybody, I'm Pat Matthews, Mr. Announcer here on The Poor Man Show, and I'd like to let you know about my services. If you're in the need for voice work, whether it be for commercials, narrations, or even having your personal or business voicemail professionally done, I'm the guy. I promise quick turnaround and great rates. Check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/Pat Matthews Productions, and that's Matthews with 2 T's, or email me at patmatthews@cox.net. I'd love to work with you. Thanks for your time, and you have a great day. Have a question or a comment? Then you can send a tweet to the Poor Man via Twitter. @PoorMan1 is his Twitter account. That's @PoorMan, the number 1. So send your tweets or follow the Poor Man @PoorMan, the number 1 on Twitter.
I want you guys to go to my YouTube channel, Adventures with Poor Man. Not Adventures with the Poor Man, Adventures with Poor Man. Subscribe. There is a total of 1 video on it that's burnt like 10 bridges. I won't ever get another gig in the wine country in Temecula because I angered the biggest promoter in the Inland Empire by putting this video up. So if you haven't seen it yet, it has a massive amount of 200 views. And that is burn a bridge. I mean, if it had gotten like 500,000, it would be worth it. But anyhow, there you go. This man we're about to talk to, Trevor, it's Trevor's Happy Hour. He is on every Friday after I'm on. I've known him for a long time. He's pretty much helped get me back onto the radio. He was the man who did it. And so it was funny because before I first came back on the radio, I would always, I remember Trevor goes, Poorman, we're going to be able to put you on the radio and you're going to be on next week or the week after. And then I wouldn't be able to get in touch with Trevor for like a week and a half. And I thought, well, maybe he doesn't want to put me on. And the truth was he was drinking his ass off and was on a bender. And that's why he didn't call me. And Trevor has pretty much, he's the worst alcoholic I've ever seen. And Trevor, are you there?
Is the mic on?
Your mic is on.
Oh,
welcome.
Hey, welcome. Welcome to Kcaa, Poorman.
Thank you, Trevor. So anyway, you really annoyed me. The reason I talked about you yesterday, and I didn't want to mention your name, I didn't want to embarrass you, but since you don't care that I mention your name, right?
No. Why would I? Look, I've gone through 3 DUIs with you. I've gone through a lot with you.
Right, but yesterday was one of those days where you were really on a bender. Somebody told me you had been drinking for 3 straight days.
Okay, I'll buy it. I'm not saying it's true, but whatever they say.
Well, you started, I mean, I'm in New York, and you started calling me at 6 a.m. New York time, and I saw it was you. I knew you were blasted, and you kept calling me all the way through, almost to the time the show went on, and that's how I knew you were on a bender. But is it really true? You're 50 now, and you became an alcoholic when you were 15, and basically have drank every day for 35 years?
Yes. Not every day, but there have been down times, with the ankle bracelet and everything. But yeah, I can.
Right. and is Leslie Leslie your co-host?
No, she lost her phone and she can't call in.
Is Lyle there?
Lyle's here.
Hey, Lyle.
Oh no, he's in the back. We just got back from the Chinese restaurant.
Okay, but you go to the Chinese restaurant, you fill that glass with ice, and then you put a little pick-me-up in there, don't you?
Yeah, there's something in there. I don't know what happened.
Dude, but aren't you worried, though, honestly? I mean, I'm trying to be serious with you, even
I'm
though
worried
you
about
call
you.
yourself... Huh?
I'm worried about you and your behavior.
What's wrong with my behavior?
Your behavior is horrible. I mean, you need to change.
Okay, what do I need to do?
Be more self-confident and do a good radio show and don't do any music.
Well, I haven't had any music today other than your voice.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, you're right, because maybe I should be drinking. No, but yesterday I had 1 shot of Johnny Walker. It was so funny because I was just getting into so much how you were ruining not only yourself, but your poor elderly mom. And I noticed last night, did you try to get your mom to call me to say that I was wrong, that there's nothing wrong between having her...
Yes. Did
her
she
life
talk
run by
to you?
a drunk?
Did she talk to you?
No, because I didn't answer. I was actually out running like you thought. I was out getting healthy while you were. But dude, if you're drunk all the time, you got to take care of your mom. How can you do that?
She's an adult. She can take care of herself.
You had her in the hospital last week.
That's her fault, not mine. I didn't cause that. I take care of her when she needs to be taken care of, but I can't watch her 24/7 and be her, babysitter.
Okay, the question I have, do you want to stop drinking, or do you just want to keep drinking a ton?
I want to keep drinking and try to mellow out once in a while.
Say that again.
I want to keep drinking and I'll mellow out once in a while and have a little downtime, but I don't think I'm ever going to stop.
So, but do you want to?
No. Look, I was sitting in rehab drinking gallons of water, and I just can't wait to get out of here so I can go drink.
What is like a typical night of drinking? And then I got to get Peter on, and you're going to be on at 3 anyway.
He's probably drinking wine. It's Friday, right?
Yeah. What's like a typical night of drinking? Like a.
It's just usually like lemonade or cranberry juice, and I dump vodka in it.
And then how many of those will you have today?
There's no set amount. I mean, whatever I feel like. I mean, I don't really have I don't have a set amount. Like you think that I'm drinking all day long. Yes, but I sip on it.
Yeah, but you, and then you have a 12-pack of beer sometimes in addition to some hard alcohol, right?
I drink very little beer anymore.
Okay.
It's just basically the vodka and the juice.
But you'll sometimes have a whole handle of vodka in a day, right? Like
Yeah, I can dump one lemonade and one vodka together and just mix it all up and just sip on it.
But you can drink a half gallon of vodka in a day. That's possible, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. On that note, Trevor, have a great show. 3
Thank
to
you.
4, Trevor's Happy Hour.
And I really appreciate you promoting me.
Well, of course. I mean, listen, nothing but the best, my friend,
I
for
know,
you.
We're still friends.
We're always friends.
All right.
Even if I don't talk to you, I just don't like talking to you when you're blasted. That's all. Anyway, I got to move on because Peter Dills is coming up and he's going to give away some food. And Trevor's coming up in a few minutes. So stay tuned, everybody.
Thanks, Poorman.
Okay. And we need a break. Thank you. Somebody's drunk in the studio. At the controls.
If you'd like to talk to the poor man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the poor man coming up.
Hi, you guys. Poor Man here. You know how much I love to party, get drunk, make a fool out of myself, but all in all, have a good time with my friends. For that reason, I'm throwing my own party. Join me Friday night, August 28th at Scotia Monahan's in Costa Mesa for the biggest end-of-summer beach party in Orange County. No dress code for this event, obviously. There will be big-time live bands performing. I'll announce those soon. Drink specials, and yes, the unlimited free Scotia Monahan's signature garlic cheese bread. So spread the word, tell your friends, and make your plans now to be there at Scotia Monahan's, Newport Boulevard and 20th Street in Costa Mesa for the biggest end-of-summer beach party, Friday night, August 28th, hosted by me, the Poor Man. Go to ScotiaMonahans.com for more information, and stay tuned for what's going to happen that night. It's going to be unbelievable.
It's all a part of the Poor Man World Tour, so be there at Scotia Monahan's Friday night, August 28th.
Too many men are wimps.
Linda Gross loves men. Bet that got your attention. Linda is a men's advocate who has helped many men get their balls back. And she can help you. Her proven coaching techniques will skyrocket your confidence and boost you into action in 4 sessions or less. Stop being stupid with girls, in business, or dump a lifelong problem. Go to themensadvocate.com or email Linda info@themensadvocate.com. Mention the Poor Man Show and get 15 minutes free. Also, pick up Linda's book, Mastering Women, on Amazon. Get the straight talk from the woman who knows.
All right, we are back here, and joining me right now is the best restaurant critic in the entire United States, Peter Dills.
Hey! Wow, the drinker and now the best of the best, the restaurant critic of the world. I don't know about that, but I'll try my best.
We go from the alcoholic for 35 straight years who does his show drunk. And that's, listen, the other guy does this show, Stone, that I talked about earlier, and he's got 700,000 likes. So Trevor's probably going to do it drunk, and he'll go on to like 5 million likes, and I'll be sober and bitter. But anyway,
no, we're gonna make things happen for you.
Right, and by the way, from his alcoholism, we go to your wine, right? You are now touting some wine.
Yeah, we got the Tom Gore Vineyards, and we've got the Wild Horse. Pinot Noir. They got a Chardonnay from Paso Robles. The Tom Gore is from Sonoma County, and I didn't know, but you like the wine, and we're going to get you some right when you get back to L.A. And I convinced them to throw a few dollars your way, and why not? It's a great show.
Thanks, man. I love Cabernet Sauvignon, and I know you have one of those, right? With these guys.
It's a Tom Gore 2012 Cabernet Sauvignon. Alcohol content's about 13.5. And it's a dark red in color. The aromas are wonderful. The price is right. It's about $12 or $13, and it's available locally. In the Inland Empire in Orange County at major supermarkets for sure.
Do they sell it all over the U.S. actually?
Oh, absolutely. The Wild Horse for sure. The Tom Gore, I'm not sure, but I know it's available in California, and it's a real good wine, and the price is right, like I said.
Yeah, it's available actually at Vons and Albertsons. So if you guys want to try it out, what's the Cabernet? Which one is that?
It's a Tom Gore Cabernet. It's called the Farmer's Wine, and it's a 2012.
Do you know how much it sells for?
Yeah, it's about $13 or $14 with those supermarkets that you just mentioned. If you buy 6, they always give you a 10% discount.
Nice. And the other one?
Hey, I got some stuff to give away.
I would love to give away some wine. I just don't know if we can do it on the radio, but
we'll
that
do
would
that
be fun.
next week. Let me find out about that. And
okay.
You know what we could do? This is what I'll do for next week, and I promise. I'll get a gift card, and that way we'll give away a gift card to one of those supermarkets that you just mentioned, and then they can go buy the wine themselves.
Right, using the gift card. Perfect.
Right.
Okay, now, Peter, whenever you come on here, you always give away restaurant food. I saw earlier today you were at a deli in Thousand Oaks because I know you do you do a radio show in Santa Barbara, and so you were
Brent's
talking
Deli.
about you said this is one of the top 3 delis. Which deli was
Definitely. It's called Brent's Deli. They've got one in Westlake. They got one over across the 101. It's over in Thousand Oaks. So they've got 2 in the same area, and it's just packed. Deli sandwiches aren't cheap. They're $13 or $14. But if you like a good Jewish deli, this is the place.
What's that? You say that's the 3rd best. What are the
No,
top 2?
I'm saying top 3, meaning that somebody could call right now and say, no way, Jerry's Deli's better, okay, or Nate's is better, or Al's is better, but arguably one of the best delis that I've ever been to. And I'm sure there's a bunch of great delis in New York, but as far as LA goes, for sure, Brent's Deli is top of the list. Yeah,
what do you think the other 2 of your top 3 are for you that you like?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess probably that place in MacArthur Park. What's that one?
Langers.
Langers in that crappy neighborhood. Yeah.
Langers Deli on Alvarado. That place makes a great pastrami. Love that place.
Yeah, they do a good job, and I like Jerry's over there in the valley. That's pretty good too.
Hey, look, can we give something away? We got about 2 minutes left. Do you have anything you want to give away in a trivia question?
I do, and there's 2 ways people can win this time. I've got double prizes. They can call the radio station at 888-909-1050, or they can go on my website, peterdills.com, and just hit trivia question. And also, what I'm going to do next week, and I know you've got your own website, but I'm going to have my web guy put on your link, so there'll be 3 shows on my website. There'll be my Santa Barbara show, my Orange County show, and we'll have Poorman's link on my website, so we'll have the whole California covered.
Yes. What's the question?
Okay, here's the question. What newly imported substance caused the first major outbreak of tooth decay in Europe in the 1500s? What newly imported substance caused the first major outbreak of tooth decay in Europe in the 1500s? If you know the answer, 888-909-1050, or go to my website, peterdills.com. I've got 2 prizes. I've got $20 gift card to Pyology. Also, I'm going to throw in a coupon that you can go to Vaughn's or Albertsons and get a bottle of Mia's pasta sauce. They're a sponsor of my show, too. It's the best pasta sauce there is, and you'll get it absolutely free.
And we got less than a minute left. I don't even know if we can answer this on the air, but the first person to answer that trivia question, 888-909-1050, or go to Peter's website, which is?
peterdills.com. I'll be on this Sunday at 6 p.m. on KLAA, known as the Angel Station.
Oh, we got somebody on live. We got somebody on here, Peter.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay. Hi, who's this?
This is Bill.
Go ahead. What's the answer to Peter's question?
Sugar. Yes.
Sugar. We got a winner, Bill. Yes. Congrats.
Hey, Peter. It's Bill Martin.
Hey, Bill. Hey, they're one of my listeners now listening to your show, Poorman. I love it.
Excellent.
Yeah, because I got the link from Peter. Poorman.
There you go, Bill. Well, you better keep listening to my show and keep listening to Peter's show. And thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Poorman. See everybody on Sunday at 6.
Oh, yeah, on KLAA. That's where Peter is. Sunday at 6. Angels Radio.
Could bring a fall home when I'm far from home.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of
The Costa Report
BuySellMakeOffer.com,
on
where
the
you can
future
post a
of
video
talk radio.
about items.
GCN.
Tom Busby, CNBC Radio. Chinese hackers have reportedly attacked the computer networks at American Airlines and the travel reservation platform Sabre Corp. These are believed to be the same cyber thieves who breached health insurer Anthem in February and the Federal Personnel Office in June. It was another rough day on Wall Street. The Dow down 46 points, the Nasdaq down 13. That's after a solid July jobs report had investors convinced the Fed will begin hiking interest rates as early as next month. Employers added 215,000 new jobs last month, which was a little bit less than forecast, but the nation's jobless rate held steady at a 7-year low of 5.3%. American Express shares shooting up 6% today. That's after activist investor Value Act Capital took a $1 billion stake in the firm. And big changes at Verizon. Beginning next week, it's offering various wireless data plans with no time frame and no subsidies for new phones. Tom Busby, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call